Hey friends, I've just enjoyed so much getting involved in the discussion threads this last week, especially about the constellation of mentors with my dear friend Dr. Glenn Packiam. As I told you in last week's intro video, Glenn has just left New Life Church here in Colorado Springs, and he's now the new lead pastor at Rock Harbor Church in Costa Mesa, California, Orange County, and we miss him already, but we know that God has this for him, and we wish him well. And we're just doing good here in Colorado Springs with our new lead pastor, Jason Jackson, who's not new. He's been coming alongside Glenn for some time now. But this coming week, we have another little interview. It's my second interview with Dr. Glenn. You'll see, we obviously taped it right after the first one because we're wearing the same clothes, and I still have the same lousy video equipment back then. But it was just a great conversation. You remember that passage? And my default from my childhood is probably King James, though I rarely use that version these days. But remember that passage, promotion cometh not from the east or the west, but promotion cometh from the Lord. Well, we kind of unpacked that idea a little bit, and talking about mentoring and interacting in relationship with other people in ministry around us. What is that balance between just serving, as we all should? We should say yes to serving, but on the other hand, wanting to be good stewards of the gifting and the calling and the specific ministry gifts that God has given us. At what point are we being good stewards, and at what point are we being opportunistic or overly ambitious? And it's a robust little dialogue that we have, and Glenn just makes a great point. I think you're going to enjoy it. Probably the one thing to look for, the one line, is low-cost probes. And Glenn will unpack that a little bit. But a couple of you are in key leadership as lead pastors. Others of you are on staff. Others of you are in a variety of other areas of ministry. But I think this will just be actually a good little exercise for us all to kind of think through that. So what's going to happen over the next few weeks, this is not a heavy academic load course. The primary activity is you're involved in your own leadership practicum, you're doing ministry, and hopefully on a daily or at least weekly basis, you're having an opportunity to look at what you're doing and the activities you're doing through the lenses that we've been looking at, through these Lominger skills and some of these other issues that we'll be bringing up. So we're going to pivot back in a couple of weeks to Lominger again. And in between that and after that, we're going to just have a number of short little video interviews with some really wonderful people that God has brought around my life and ministry in a variety of different contexts that I think will be a blessing to you as well. So remember, the only homework that you're going to turn in this class is you keeping a simple one-page little journal entry each week. And you can just, double space, 200 words. You can just keep that in a folder somewhere on your computer, and we'll get them halfway through and get the others the second half. And I'm not looking at 15, even though it's a 15-week class. I'm asking for 12, and you'll get full credit. It's not like I'm grading the grammar on a personal journal entry. And then the other thing is near the end or at the end of the course, a substantive, but not overly long, substantive essay about your reflections and your thoughts. And it can be first person, given your ministry setting, your seminary degree that hopefully you're seeing the end of the tunnel now, and Lominger, and maybe even some of the issues we talked about in this course in our discussion threads. And so that's all that's going to be there, along with, of course, your actual activity in ministry. And everybody's going to do great. I think last week, everybody does. You'd have to basically just not show up to not do well. But let's have an energetic and robust and yet respectful dialogue back and forth. And I think you're going to enjoy this week's interview. God bless you guys. If you need anything, reach out to me. You should have my number. You have my email address, and I'm happy to help you. Okay, I'll jump into the discussion threads, and we'll see you there.